now we continue. Now we continue uh, our Wednesday class. I I talked. We talked about the sampling errors. Sampling errors. Sampling error. Random sampling error. Voluntary response. Sampling frame. What is a sampling frame? Yes?
Take for example, maybe pieces. Let me use example pieces. Take some pieces and you put them in a frame. You come here with scales.
I want in statistics, sampling frame error. I don't remember. Okay, you tell me next on Friday. Now we talk about non-sampling error. Non-sampling error. What are those errors? One is a processing error. Processing error. Um, People are just very tired when you do a lot of things. And for example, how long your grandpa lived, okay? How long your grandpa lived, okay? How long your grandpa lived, okay? So when doing they make errors. They may be here wrong. I said 90 years old, and they write 80 years old because they are tired. They are tired. Keep doing this sampling processing error. Another is response error. Another is the response error. What is a response error? Is when you ask people something, they lie for some reason. Um, for some reason. For example, one example is it's on the book. Okay, I borrowed this example on the book, and let's see. Um, are you they ask people on the street, are you against a black people to be U.S. president? Are you against a black people to be U.S. president? And then on the street they say, no, 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 I'm not against. So but when they really go to vote, when they really go to vote, their heart, they're against. They don't say it. So if you do a sample surveys, they say, no, 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 I'm not a racist. I'm neutral. But when they lie. And also an example from the book. They want to study if husband and wife they want to study the husband and wife. Do they have sex with the third person? And they ask in front of the husband and the wife. They ask the husband, "Do you have sex with another woman outside the house?"
No.
The husband said, "No." I said, "Okay, no." And this is the example from in the book. It's not from me, okay? So at the end, they found only 1%, uh, only one, according to our sample surveys, only 1% husband have sex with the woman outside. And so this is a response error. He's asking in front of his wife. Can you believe it? So response error. Stat Watch the do you think it is fun? Statistics? Um,
We should look at it response, we should call it question error. Because they're asking that question in the wrong moment, in the wrong place.
yes. Yes, I'm not getting. Okay, another is no response. No response. Error. This is also error. For example, they want to call people's home is not a cell phone in the old days. This is the example from the book. They want to call people's home and ask, say, are you voting for Democratic or Republican? They call it in the, let's say, Christmas. They call it in Christmas. And during that time, many families are taking a vacation. Many families are taking a vacation, go out. So many people, 50% of people, the phone call, nobody answered. Nobody answered. So those are 50%, those are, if you can go to vacation, which means your family's income is not bad, is not bad, is not bad. And because you cannot reach them, so only those people who are not going to vacation, most of them maybe do not have a job, or whatever. Those people will give you, yes, I will vote for you. So there are errors. It's not the whole picture. It's not the whole picture. Okay? And another error is the language. The language. For example, if I want to ask people, say, who's so and so support, please raise your hand. And maybe only a few people to raise their hand. If I ask, if you are against, then please raise your hand. And only a few people. Let's say here, let's say we have how many? Let's say we have 40 students. I say, if you agree with me, please raise your hand. And maybe 10 people raise their hand. Then I ask again, if you disagree with me, please raise your hand. And only 10 people, another 10 people raise a hand. So only 10 plus 10, only 20 people express their own opinions. 20 people, they do not show they agree or do not show they disagree. So the language expression. the language expression is also very important. It is the book showed example. It is asking the same thing, but if you choose the words in different ways, you will get very different. You will get a different response. Depending on how you ask, the people, depending on how you ask people. And how to solve these errors? How to solve these errors? How to solve these errors? Processing error. Try to do it more careful. Right? When you do the calculation at cell, try to not make mistakes. Try to not make mistakes. When you as a matter of fact, China right now is doing the census right now. They are asking everybody in China their questions. 2 days ago, they came to ask me. I answered those questions. And yesterday they came back to my home. Said, oh, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. We need you to fill the form again. The form is on their cell phone. You know, they make errors. And my neighbor, I noticed, they're doing it, repeating it. They're also they made errors. They made errors. So they come back, ask the questions again. Because the surveys, those are questions are tricky. It's not easy to answer. You have to scratch. Should I say yes or should I say no? It's not easy. And the people to write these, their language expression sometimes is not clear. Maybe it's clear to him. He designed. It's clear to him, but it's not clear to me. I don't know what he's asking. It's a strange question. So the processing error, repeating. The response error, how to avoid the response error. If you want to ask the husband, do you have sex with another woman outside your family? And how to avoid this response error? Anonymous, right? Say, you should tell the truth. I don't write your name. I will not tell anybody. Okay? For example, the survey HIV. They wanted to study what's the percentage of the college students have HIV positive. If you stop somebody on the street, sir, are you HIV positive? In cafeteria, you stand on the gate. Sir, excuse me, are you HIV positive? Can you get the correct one? Of course not. You can only do it anonymously, not name record, because you are not find out who is HIV positive. You want to find out the whole picture. What's the percentage? It's positive. I read some data. It is very shocking in China. It is very shocking in China. Um, I heard some, I read some news, and I asked my friend. She's working in the blood. We call it, how to say it in English? As a donation in the blood. You know the bus. Oh yes, blood bank. Yes, blood bank. I see. Is really that the number is that high? It's very very high. It's very high. And by the way, there's a unit just on that direction outside the campus. I saw it. It provides a free and privacy testing. I guess it's a setting up by the government. Uh, I cannot tell you exactly. I can only see that building over outside. Um, so for some surveys, if you want to avoid the response error, has to be anonymous, not exposure, not insulting the person, right? If it's anonymously, if you are positive, just say it, just check it's positive, and no name, is labeled with your response, and give the institute the idea, the idea. And for response, and let's say when we do a call telephone, uh, we try to select 1,000 people, and we try to call that 1,000 people on something. For example, 1,000 people computer programming. We call it, for example, graduated from our university, and we call them in 5 years. We call them in 5 years. Hello, 你好，still, can you tell me? They want to graduate, the university. This number is, say, our graduates in 5 years. The salary, the average salary is very high compared to many universities of graduates. I'm not saying it's true, okay? This number is really important number because if you just find a job, the beginning, that salary doesn't tell much story. If the 5 years after graduating, then that salary reflects the graduates, the quality. So in 5 years, your colleague will say, what's your salary? What's your salary? You don't need to tell me. If your salary is, maybe they are shy. They say my salary is high. Actually, they don't have that much salary. They could be lying because they are shy. Oh, my teacher called me. I say, maybe he doesn't have a job, but he said, oh, I have a job. I'm a manager now, and all this. And another is when you call these 1,000 graduates, many no response. Many no response. Maybe they don't have a job, they don't have a phone. They don't even have the phone. Their phone service has stopped. So you only reach 50% of them. You only reach 50% of them. And if those 50% are honest, which is that unlikely, everybody is telling the true salary, that 50% is honest, tell you the salary, you calculated that average. And you are missing another 50% who does not have a job, who don't have a job. So your average number may be high. Oh, our graduates, the salary is very, very high. Look at those have zero salary. It's not in your average. It's not in your average. And how to overcome no response. How to overcome no response. And if I called somebody, if I called Bassett, and I cannot reach him, he doesn't answer my phone, I have no idea. And then, if he's randomly selected, and I called him, he doesn't answer the phone. I don't know for what reason. Anyway, no, doesn't answer the phone. And then I try to find a substitute. And then I call Ali. Ali, what's your salary? And then I use Ali's salary to substitute. And say, they are more or less, they are the same. So this is a substitute, okay? It's better than zero. If I just feel zero, then the average is everything drops. Everything drops, okay? I find that the two salary may not be same, but more or less, so find a substitute. And another way is I called one person, no response. Then no response. And Frank, they are randomly selected. Then I times 2. I want to add 1,000 people's salary divided by 1,000. Okay? And one is missing. And friend's salary, I say times 2, number 2. So his salary is the same as the friend's. I give I double the friend's salary to overcome his no response. Huh? Yes, but this is better than in Excel. I fill in 0. That's the way. There are many errors. Just too many errors. Okay, to overcome the no response, try to find a substitute or give other people a weight, increase other people's weight. Language expression. Try to use the language not influence people's attitude. Do not make people's keep their neutral, Don't make people feel uncomfortable to answer yes or answer no. And you need to be good with the language. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. You need those examples in the book, real examples. Sometimes you make people feel uncomfortable to answer your question. Um, this is a non-sampling error. And so far we are focusing on randomly, okay? Even the 1,000 people, whatever, or 100 programmers, you cannot choose the good students. If we want to find out the average salary of our graduates, you need to randomly select, right? If you only select good students, you know, oh, he's good, oh yeah, like Bassett, he's good. Then you need to randomly select. Um, Too many errors that I need more board. Non-random. Non-random selection. What this means? For example, if we want to select, let's say 40 students in this class, if we want to select 10 students to go to the meeting with the president, okay, anyway, we want to select 10 students to do something. If we randomly select, everybody has a 25% chance, right? 10 out of the 10, we want to select 10 students out of the 40. Everybody has a 25% chance. And, but we don't want to do that. Why? Because we would like the 10 students be selected, including the girls, We want the 10 representative students. If we truly randomly select, it is possible we select 10 boys, because totally more boys, many more boys compared. So if we select 10 boys randomly, then we don't like that result. Girls were not selected. So we want to give girls the chance, more chance. We want to say, let's say, I don't know how many girls in the class. Let's say right now I have, let's say, I just made fake number. Let's say 5 girls. Our class is not 40 anyway. To be easy, I say it's a 35 boys plus 5 girls. Okay? So Um, for selecting the 10 students, I say within the 5 girls, we need to select 2. Uh, according to this, only one point something, only 1 point girls will be selected, the average. So if randomly, it could be 0 girls be selected. So in 5 girls, randomly selected two out of the 5. Then in 35 boys, randomly select 8. The whole class is not random. It's a stratified. It's a stratified. These are called stratified. It's not the completely the random. It's random in girls, random in boys. Are you following me? Another example. Another example.
Last example, that's continue. Finish school fees.
Okay. The disadvantage of this is that you can criticize me, say, teacher, the girls. The disadvantage is that you can criticize. This is why you always can criticize. Even I do this, the intern comes to me, say, teacher, you are not randomly select students. It's not fair. Why girls are 2 out of 5? That is 40% chance. Girls had a 40% chance, and the boys is even less than 25%. Girls had more chance. You can criticize me. Then this is not representing the whole picture. The advantage, of course, we guarantee the girls are in that okay, again, this is the ending of chapter 4. You go to finish reading. Okay. Every time I say this one more time, you have to give me 1 money. I say this one more time, every year give me one. Read chapter 4, okay? Okay. If you happen to do chapter 1 to 3, do it, okay? Chapter 1 to 3, this is the ending of chapter 4. Okay, we stop here. Remember, send me the